Jordez Video Game Reviews.
The era of 8-bit games was a much simpler time. When Final Fantasy was without numerals, people were shocked to find out Samus Aran was female, and all Mario had to do was jump on Goombas. It's a time that many gamers look back on fondly and wish that today could be more like. If you're one of those people, then 3D Dog Game Heroes is for you. The developers, From Software, have attempted to recreate the feel of these classic games whilst using today's technology to bring it into the 21st century. Most noticeable is the blocky graphics used to create what is arguably the first 8-bit 3D game. One of the additions that wouldn't have been possible in the 80s is the character creation option that enables you to create your own hero, who can be as mundane or as insane as you wish. For the most part though, changes are cosmetic and the game feels decidedly old school. Everything from the sounds to the story creates a nostalgic trip to the past. Story-wise, 3D Dog Game Heroes is a real treat, and even though the story itself is paper thin, the way in which it's told is superb. Every cliché in the book is on show here. Princesses, dragons, a legendary hero collecting orbs to defeat evil, and everything else you can think of from back in the day. The plot is wonderfully self-aware and pokes fun not only at games from the past, present and even itself, but also makes joking references to game development as a whole. It skates the line between being homage to the games of old and satire perfectly, leaving you with a combination of nostalgia and amusement. This nostalgia will be strongest with those who have played the Legend of Zelda games, as 3D Dog Game Heroes borrows a lot of gameplay elements from them. Bombs, bows, boomerangs, and grapple hooks all make an appearance, and are needed in defeating enemies in the overworld, and solving fiendish puzzles in the temples, although the most effective way to dispatch enemies is with your sword. The developers must have felt emasculated by all the inevitable comparisons to the Zelda games, so they gave their unnamed hero something that Link never had, the ability to wield massive swords, the size of which would make even Cloud Strife feel inadequate. It's easy to feel overpowered when your sword can clear an entire room with one swing. However, it is only at its maximum length when you have full health, meaning that after crossing the world with full health and sword it is easy to become complacent, and even the slightest nick will bring you down to size. There are many things willing to administer that attack as well, from sneaky enemies, to traps, and to downright beastly bosses, which, keeping in tone with the game, can be brutally difficult until you work out their pattern. It feels quintessentially old school, and whilst this is mostly a plus for nostalgia and intelligent game design, there are also many flaws which could have been ironed out. After a while you will get sick of the looped soundtrack. Despite how good it sounds at first, it does get repetitive. Moreover, there is at times a distinct lack of direction in the story, and you will be left wandering aimlessly, talking to every NPC for a clue of what to do. To keep you occupied at times like this, there are minigames scattered across the land, including a breakout clone, a race game, and a surprisingly in-depth tower defense game. These alone can eat up hours of your time. It is genuinely difficult to criticize 3D Dog Game Heroes though, as although it does have many flaws, they all feel like they've been created intentionally and that they belong in the game. For without these, the whole old school new style experience would feel inauthentic, and the connection that you feel with the game would have been lessened. However, I feel this game will polarize audiences. Newer gamers who have never experienced 8-bit games may find it outdated and lacking direction, but those who have played games like Legend of Zelda owe it to themselves to play this game. It's a truly spectacular homage to a great era of games. For all you trophy hunters searching for an easy platinum, you'd better look elsewhere, as you will most definitely not find it here. To get all the trophies will require over 50 hours, 3 playthroughs, patience, dexterity and good reactions. The most difficult trophies will require you to complete the entire game without dying, complete it with a character that dies in one hit, and complete all the minigames in ridiculously difficult times. The platinum for 3D Dog Game Heroes is an esteemed trophy, and will test even the most ardent players. Thank you for watching this video review. You can check out the full written review at www.jordez.co.uk.